Hello everyone, how good of you to join and welcome to the Guild 3. The game is finally coming out today on Steam, June 14th, and we can finally dabble into the full version of this beautiful medieval life simulation game, as I like to call it. It is a mixture between economy simulation, where you have a business that you need to manage in medieval times, but at the same time also RPG mechanics, like you have your dynasty, right? You have your character that you need to level up that has its own kind of life and stuff like that. So you need to mix these two things. Think about it like, let's say, Anno 1800 combined with Crusader Kings 3, and boom, you have it. All of that together in a beautiful graphic, or in a beautiful city that we're playing here, that is London, the great city of London. And yeah, we're basically starting out here spring 1400 with Valken Delaney, our character. But before we get really cracking, let's have a look at the settings, shall we? So here we are, version 1.0, finally the release version. Let's go right into starting a new game, and as we can see, we do have quite a lot of maps. Quite a few have been added as well, and in this case here I would like to go with the great city of London. Built by the Romans on the banks of the river Thames, the city of London has remained the focus of most of the big events in the Kingdom of England. We're playing with 10 dynasties, so the maximum amount, that means basically your opponents, right? So we are one dynasty, we are spreading it, we need to marry, we need to make well, babies, schooly pooping around, stuff like that, and all the other ones are doing that well. They have their own craftsmanships, they have their own businesses, they have their own, well, hostilities towards us. In that case, that's going to be interesting. So that's 10 dynasties working on one map. The difficulty setting is going to be impossible, as always, so we really need to be on our toes there with every mechanic the game has to offer. We're going with 1 year per round. That means that every day is 1 year. That's the slowest game speed there is, so I think this is also the most realistic one, because we of course get older and we can die at some point the older we get, and I don't want to rush through one character so quickly. We're starting with the poor fellow mode. That means we really start with almost nothing, just a few coins and, well, a bit of cloth on us, and we need to climb the ladder this way. There's also the career mode, where you already start with the citizen title, so you can already build businesses within the city as well, but we are starting with the poor fellow, so we have to stay outside of the city of London, right? And later on, once we have the citizen title, we can build within the city then as well. The campaign mode is going to be free game, so no certain goal. Of course, becoming sovereign might be our goal here. Valken Delaney it is. We also can choose now a middle religion, right? There was always the Catholics and the Protestants, and now we can go with the secular Christians. So that means we are kind of like in the middle. We just nod to everything those buggers say and pretend that we are on their side. We do have lots of skills and startup skills here, right? So these are the professions, more or less. There's more in the game itself, but these are the starter ones. So the farmer, for example, the orchidist, the fisherman, we can start the craftsmanships here. We can play as the how do you say that, the health profession. So that's the herbalist, right, with the apothecary. That's the preacher with the church, and that's the barber with the barber shop, and also washing customers and stuff like that. We can learn all of them, right? So it doesn't really matter with what you start, because you can get the other ones too at some point. Then there's the rogue profession, so that's the robber, the gravedigger, and the minstrel. We're starting with the gravedigger because I really like the idea of just having to dig up bones in the beginning. We are that bad, right? We are so early in our life, we have no education, and we are basically digging up bones, making bone bracelets to earn a living, and eventually we'll hopefully, you know, get better with a life and start a family and stuff like that, you know, the usual stuff. We also have all different kind of character customizations here. Let's look a bit more friendly. That's fine, I guess. And the clothing, I usually like with this one here as my starter one. It just looks as ragged as possible. There's the starting abilities here, right? So I like to go with a balance sheet. So you can, of course, focus into one of these traits more than in the other ones. Charisma, for example, is how much other people like you in general. So that's very helpful if you want to go into politics. Perception is very good if you want to go into fights yourself, because you have a higher quickness. Strength lets you carry more stuff, and intelligence, for example, also lets you learn more, gets experience points quicker and stuff like that. These are the settings. I'm really excited about this. Let's get cracking. Alright, and we are back on the map. London is spring 1400. We are right now. Valken Delaney, our character, somewhere over here in the middle of nowhere. He's standing around. He's got no idea what's in store for him. Lots of people everywhere, and the very cool thing is all of them are simulated. All of them have a life, a name, their own, skills. All of them are either employed somewhere or having a business. We can find out who's our opponents because they have a banner next to them, right? A symbol, an icon, like we have. Like this Henry Earnshaw here, for example. He's definitely another dynasty, and he's trying to make his life now, right? He's the Earnshaw dynasty, the family. They're more or less, and he's starting just as we are starting right now. And then there's the normal people here that are just, going about their business, and we can employ them and stuff like that. We have a pretty big map. Let's just have a look at that with London in the center. I can go over there. That's London. We have no business over here for now. We are so low in the ranks, right? We are serf at the moment in our title rank. We cannot really do anything with London right now other than going to the market. London itself has a couple of markets, right? So every village and every city has its own market where goods can be traded. And in that case here, we are, I think, over here, we're in the great village of Brixton. So Brixton is our starting village, right? There is a couple of other opponents with us in this village. There's nothing here yet except for a few standard buildings. And we're going cracking now with our first one. We have 2,100 coin, and we have one building available that we can start with, and that's the Grave Digger Crypt. Right, because we're a grave digger. There's nothing else that we can build right now. We would need to learn their titles, their skills before we can build anything else. Now, for the grave digger, we do need to have a cemetery close by where we can dig up bones. And I guess close to the city of London, there is a cemetery over there, the Death Yard. There's already someone digging, and I guess we're not the only grave digger in town. Just beautiful, right? And we should build our first grave digger crypt, the Lonely Graves, close to it, right? So we cannot build it here because that is outside of our village, right? So we need to stay within our village itself. But that's not that far away anymore. There is already something over there, so I guess we can just make it next to it. I still would like to keep a bit of a room then. Yeah, let's build it there so the tree hopefully will stay. There you go, perfect, right? And that's our first business coming up now. Valken, get over here.
Yes, sir.
We can, of course, control our character. So he's basically now walking over to his first business. It's all the money that we had, investing it into a single building. We can, of course, also get attacked, by the way, and stuff like that, right? So we need to be careful. Getting a bit of armor and stuff like that would be one of the better things to do early on. A weapon, especially. We don't even have that. But then again, I think weapons are rather expensive, right? A longsword costs 2,000 coin. If we go for something simpler, a dagger would be possible already, right? Giving me some attack bonus there. But for now, let's just stick with that. We do need the remaining 850 coin for our first employees that we need to have then soon. Our building is coming up. Our crypt. And we're basically just waiting now for this to happen. There it is. A new building has been finished. And it's time to go into business. Valken, he can join right away in the crypt, right? And then we get into the business menu. And in that case here, we can hire 2 workers. Let's start with the first one. That would cost me 400 coin. That's really expensive, right? And the second worker is going to be a family member, and that's going to be us because we don't need to pay anything, right? It's our business. And what we can do now in here is, what we are doing is we have 2 workers, and we are going to get some bones now. Right, so that's my workers doing the job then. So let's just start with gathering bones. So we and our freshly found gravedigger William, who is 15, already looking quite used. He's now on his way too. So he's been created, right, for us because we employed him. But he's his own character now. So he could also do his own stuff, find a wife and whatnot, right? But for now, he's now working for us, and he's also running to the cemetery, not very quickly so we have been there, or we have arrived way faster. And yeah, that's basically what we're doing now, digging up the bones in this very early game, trying to find something valuable, and hopefully no one finds us. As we can also see, we are gaining experience points now. So we are starting with level 1, right? And if we work ourselves, for example, or with any kind of action, we do get experience points, and we can then invest them into new attributes and also equip better equipment, then better gear, the higher our, attributes are, the higher our level is. For now though, we're just gaining some basic stuff here together with William as we're working our way. Let's just check our business there real quick. As we can see, bones are being gathered now, so that's the inventory of these characters, Valken and William, and we have 10 in bones, and he's got 8 bones in store there. So they are going to gather that now up to the maximum and get it back to our crypt. And after a bit of time, we can also, of course, also speed up the time or not. We are going back home here. So Valken, for example, he's got now the 20 bones, right? And William has it too. So they're going back now to the crypt, unloading the bones and getting back to the cemetery. However, we're not going to do this forever now, so I'm going to stop with Valken there. He's got no part in that anymore, and William is continuing with the bones. However, Valken is doing something else now, and we do have some items here now available for production, right? The bones was the first one, so this is the basic one. And then we have the bone dust. That is already a processing item of the bones. Then we have the bone glue. We also need bones for that. And then we have the bone bracelet. That is an item, and that has quite a nice value, as we can see. So the market in Brixton is buying these for 88 coin each, right? The bone dust is worth 13 coin, and the bone glue is worth 26 coin. So the bone bracelet is the highest value here for now, and I want to produce that. And this costs me 1 bone dust, and 1 bone glue. So the previous items here we need for 1 bone bracelet. How can I do this? Well, I have an order list available, and I'm going to say here now, craft me 1 bone dust, craft me 1 bone glue, and then you can craft 1 bone bracelet. And that's the order. And then I can say here, looped production, the worker will keep going through the same order list. So the workers that I assign to that order here, they're going to produce a bone dust, then a bone glue, and then a bone bracelet, and then back again to the bone dust, right? So they're going to loop through that, whatever I've decided here. Since the ratio for the bone bracelet is 1-1-1, so everything 1, we only need to produce 1 bone dust and 1 bone glue to produce 1 bone bracelet. If it's like 2 bone glue, I would have to decide here 2 bone glues, right? Before I can move on. That's fine now, so I can now make him work on that. So Valken is now processing, as we can see, the first bone dust, right? And then he's going to work on the bone glue. We're consuming bones with that. So William will still continue collecting the bones here for now. Alright, so we are now finally in the business ourselves, doing what we really want, crafting bone bracelets. And we're getting a bit more experience points out of that now, since we're crafting something. And there we are already crafting now the first bone bracelet. So we've looped through it once then. So as we can see, that's the progress here. And the higher our skill, of course, the faster we can do this. And boom, there we have it, the first bone bracelet. It's being automatically put into the front store. Every business in this game has a front store, right? So that's also very useful for us. There is a front store for this farm right next to us, where people can directly purchase something without going to the market. It's a bit cheaper than purchasing stuff at the market directly, so it is worth it. And we're going to sell some stuff there at the front store too, from time to time, at this earliest stage, right? And any surplus that we have, we're going to get sent to the market then. And we're always going to have, I think it is 2 set for now for the front storage there. Front store, there it is. 2 has been set automatically, right? We can always change this value, but let's stick with 2 in the front store, and everything else we sell then at the market. And if 1 is being purchased in the front store, it's being replenished then automatically from our normal storage. And then we also have the add-ons for the buildings. So every building has upgrades available to them. Here, for example, that would be my first one, getting another worker into this building here. And we can also then do stuff like a customer satisfaction. That increases the value of the front storage, right? And people are more likely to go to us to purchase something. We already sold our first bone bracelet, by the way, right? It's gone. It was gone. And we got a bit of money in. We can also check this one real quick by having a look at my statistics for the business. And there we can see the revenue for trading 134 coin we got out of the front storage there directly. Very nice. Our first sale has been happened, and there is a bit of profit coming in now. It's getting late now, so it's almost 8 o'clock. As we can see, nighttime is upon us. That means all the other workers will stop their work now. So William probably at 8 o'clock will stop working and going to rest. And, oh, and there's another one purchasing stuff from us. Shop at the front store. Jacob Logan is doing that. He's purchasing stuff from us. This guy here. And, yep, we made some more money again. Perfect. Did he actually purchase everything? Yes, he purchased all the bone bracelets. Now, I don't even have to go to the market for now. William is still working. I'm surprised at that. So gravediggers are working quite long hours, I think. And we can work through the night though. William will have to stop at some point now, as the night is creeping in. It's getting a bit more quiet out there now, and also a bit more dangerous. Never send your characters to the market at nighttime. Alright, it's close to midnight now. William has stopped working at 10 o'clock, and now midnight, that means the next season begins, which is summer 1401. Now during night we had to pay the wages there as well. We also sold some more bone bracelets, and as we can see, employees, these cost 400 there now. And we need to make a profit from now on in order to afford the employees and also the maintenance costs for the buildings. We do have almost 1,000 coin available. So what I would like to go for here now is my first upgrade for this building. That is the worker upgrade here. Does cost 600 coin. It's absolutely required though that we go with this one, and that means now that I can get another business worker into that. This one cost me 400 coin though. We don't have that, so I need to wait until someone purchases something from the front store again. During nighttime that's not very likely, so at the moment, as we can see, we're piling up some bone bracelets there, so we got 5 in store now in total, as Valken continues to work through the order list that we have even during nighttime. It's also worth noting that in London we have our trade ships, trade ships also going around. This game is deep, let me tell you that. There's so many mechanics working in the background for the cities, and so many things that we can explore. It's truly incredible, and always awed at what is possible in this game, especially when we start out in the beginning, when it's so simple everything, and we're just basically getting there, right? Making a life in the city of London. Another bone bracelet is done. We got 600 coins, so someone purchased the bone bracelets there. A couple of them at least. And we can hire now a new worker. Let's do this. There it is, Maria. At the young age of 15. But I guess gravediggers do look a bit older than usual. And Maria is going to help us. She is going to help us crafting the order list, right? Because we are getting a few too many bones in here, I think, from William. So Maria, she is already making the products automatically. Perfect. So we now got, as we can see, oh, they're starting out early at 4 o'clock. My workers are starting already. And in that case here, we got now 2 gravediggers working at the crypt and 1 collecting the bones. Lots of people move in front of my crypt. Unfortunately, no one purchasing bone bracelets at the moment. It's quite a busy road that we found there. There's also a trader passing by, right? Oh, he's actually got some guards there too. And of course, also the guards have their own personality and stuff like that. And in that case here, we have, of course, not the money to have any guard and transport at the moment, but we don't need that. Bone bracelets is a rather cheap thing, right? Let's just check it out there real quick. We got already 6 now in store and 2 in the front store, as Valkin and Maria are working tirelessly to produce the bone bracelets while William is collecting bones. Not very fast though. So as we can see, the bones, I think, is going down a bit. So what I might do is putting Valken on the bone digging there again, because he can work through the night, while the other 2 are, you know, crafting during daytime. That might be something, but who knows about that at this point. I'll just wait there. How much would it cost me to get another worker? 1,200, right? So that we can get another one out there. Then we would have 4 workers. For now I cannot really afford that anyway. While we wait for the production to roll in there, it's also worth noting that we have the Book of Dynasties up here that is pretty interesting, I think. Here we can see our dynasty and how it is faring with the other dynasties, our reputation in the world, right? And as we can see, it's all rather medium. Once some of these reputations are going down, and they will, we should be on our toes, because then they might try to attack us. We can also see who is in this dynasty and what they're doing right now, their value, and how they, you know, their attitude towards life in general. This guy here has already 2 herb huts. No idea how he can expand so quickly. There's also the Tinker Hut. Of course, I would think about expanding, building another Gravedigger Crypt soon. Unfortunately, I cannot do that because without title, that is the serf title, I can only have 1 business building. If I want to get a second business building, we do need to purchase the commoner title over here. That cost me 1,000 coin, right? And with the commoner title, not only would we be able to build another business, but we also get new actions. Like we could hunt rats, we could denounce someone, we can praise someone, distract guards, and very important, we can drive our workers. So that means we can make a speech and they are motivated to work more, right? So with every title that we can purchase, and there's quite a few of them, as you can see, we get new actions, new possibilities that we can do. With the citizen, for example, we can then start running for an office, so going into politics, which has its own whole mini game. There's even a court and a court of justice that you can, you know, judge other people than if you are the judge and stuff like that. That's just really cool stuff overall. But right now, let's just focus on the bone bracelets that we produce ourselves still, of course, because we don't have the money to afford another worker there. On top of that, let's just wait. I think it's 5 o'clock now. Let's just see. The central market in London is purchasing the bone bracelets for 108 right now. So prices fluctuate, and it shows me where the best price is right now for what we can get. Since we are rather low on bones anyway, let's send Valken over there. So I'm going to get all the bones that we have right now, the bone bracelets, 15, and I'm going to send him to the central market of London, right? So let's do this here, send to the market, and central market of London. We now need to find this one. We now need to find the market building. This is the South District of London. This is the London Harbour District. There is the Central London, right? Let's send him to that. And Valken is now on its way. On foot, of course. We don't have a horse. We cannot afford horses at the moment. And he's on his way. It is worth doing something here, though. I think we can do this. Yes, we can equip the bone bracelet, one of them at least. It would reduce my charisma, but it will also increase my armor by plus 15. Thus, we can take more hits if we're being attacked. So I would like to equip my first item, the bone bracelet. And as we can see, charisma is going down, and my armor is to increase by 15. And the other 14 we're going to sell at the market, because the bone bracelet is a normal equipable item, of which we have a lot in the game, right? So there is quite a lot of stuff. With the food, we can boost our stuff. We have lots of clothes available that we can purchase, and stuff like that. They all have their own bonuses. So yeah, but the bone bracelet is cheap because we have produced it ourselves, and that's golden. Now, I think what we'll need to do here is we'll need to send Maria to the bone gathering there as well. So we do need both of them to get our bones. We're rather low on that for now, and that's that. After a bit of time, Valken arrives at the market, and here we can sell now these 14 for 1,500 coin. There you go. That was a nice profit. Thank you very much.
Cheese on toast.
Of course, the central London market has a lot of stuff in store, so that is an interesting thing here. It's also a beautiful location, right? If only we could build something here. Unfortunately we can't. Valken, you go back to your business now. So I'm going to open my businesses, and he's going to the Lonely Graves there back home. And with the money, well, with the money we could do something, to be honest. Yep. I could upgrade my building now. Or could we afford another crypt? That might be more interesting. 1,000 coin for the commoner title. And that would be another 1,250 for the Gravedigger, but then we don't have any workers. So no, we cannot afford another crypt yet. So what I can do instead though is I can add another worker. It's still very expensive, but it's cheaper than building a whole building, right? We can get this one done, and with that I can now afford to hire a 4th worker. That's the maximum amount for this one. To work then in my crypt. It's very late, so I'm not going to hire one now because we would have to pay the wages then for basically nothing. So I'm going to wait till next day, and then we are going to pause the next one. And then we basically got quite a lot of workers there already on this one. It's nighttime, so Valken, you're going to dig the bones during night so that we stack up a bit on that. I have no idea why we get so much bone dust in general here. Seems quite a lot. I think my order is not really working. We're producing way too many bone dusts, but we'll figure this out why that's not working at the moment. Other than that, another day is going over, another day is over, very successfully so we made some coin. Next day we can get the 4th worker into this game. And yeah, let's just wait for that as we continue digging up the bones. I think I know why we have so much bone dust, because the thing is the bone glue takes 2 bones and we were out of bones at some point. So basically Maria and Valken only looped through the bone dust, right? Because there was one in store probably, and they took that one, moved on to bone glue, didn't have enough resources, and moved back to number 1 again, to the bone dust. And it kind of like looped around there between them before we could move on to the bone bracelets. So that's probably why we have this inequality there. But it's fine, we're going to fix this one. Autumn 1402, so we've already played 2 years now. So once again, we've also gotten 1 year older. We're 19 now. We're still single, so still no wife there. But I cannot afford a wife at this point. And yeah, it's autumn. Beautiful colors, that means. It's close to winter. That also means that. And in that case here, Valken continues now with the bones. We already got 60 bones there now once again. We have the coin now, so let's go ahead and hiring a next worker. Right, so there we got Daniel. He's now working for us as well. Daniel is still sleeping at the moment. Right, so they're all sleeping in the crypt basically because they don't have anything else in their life. And he's probably going to collect bones for us then as well. Or we are endlessly going to collect bones and the other ones are crafting. We'll find the right ratio there. So it's 5 o'clock. All my workers are working now too. It's beautiful how the progress bars are going up all the time. And in that case here, Daniel is now helping us with the bone bracelets. Maria is doing the same, while Valken and William are gathering the bones. But as I can already see, this is going up really fast now here, the bones, right? So I might actually assign someone else then to the bone bracelets, and that's William. So William, stop with that, with the skulls, and go for the order, right? So go for the order that you want to do. There you go. So William is also working on that. Now we got 3 on the bone bracelets. So there they are, all working out diligently for us. Very good. So I guess I have a feeling that today is going to be a good day when it comes to profit, as we're going to make quite a lot of these bone bracelets. You're also getting the notification that there is an empty office, yes, down here. So this is the politics system. I don't want to dabble into that too much here. Basically, we got a bunch of laws available in the city, and we got the offices all the way up to mayor and then to the sovereign. And in that case here, we could apply to one of these. We would get some certain actions available if we have this office. And we would need to get elected into that though, right? So there's electees here, the nominators, they would have to elect us then for that. Unfortunately, we don't have any title available to be able to apply for an office, but I just wanted to show that real quick. Now, there's already quite a lot of bone bracelets in, and it's only morning. That's perfect. With a bit of money that we have, what I would like to do now is I would like to purchase my first title. That is the Commoner. 1,000 coin, Drive Your Workers becomes available with that. There you go. Count your blessings. Your tireless efforts have earned you a new title, that of the Commoner. And we receive now the Drive Your Workers action. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. We can also build a second business now if I have the money, right? Let's go ahead and select this new action. So there it is under my dynasty actions. We can now say drive my workers. We get a 63% chance of effectiveness, or chance that it works, because that is, I think, directly bound to charisma, right? So the higher our charisma, the better this chance here would be. And unfortunately, my charisma is not that high. But what we have a level up. We are level 2 now, and I will invest this point into the charisma right away once more, right? So this attribute point for every level you get, and invest it into charisma. So we are 3 back up there again, because don't forget the bone bracelet is already reducing charisma by 1. Anyway, we have arrived, and we are now talking to our people. Work harder for me, please. I hope he's doing a good job at that, because if he is, we are going to get a nice boost of work effectiveness there. There it is, and 3% productivity. That's not a lot though, but it's fine. Since it was successful, we're also getting 24 experience points right out from it, right? So boosting that a bit is fine. But at least, you know, 3% effectiveness with 3 people, that's actually quite a bit. So it's fine, it's fine. Another thing I would like to try for the order list is I'm going to put the skulls here right into the front. So we're going to make 20 skulls, right? Then we're going to make, out of that, we're going to make 10 bone dust, and we're going to make 10 bone glue. Right, because the thing is with the bone dust, was it the bone dust? No, the bone glue actually requires 2 bones, right? So we need to be careful there. We need to gather 30 skulls to make 10 of that and 10 of that, and then we can make 10 bone bracelets of that. So this is my new order now, and all of them are working on that now, even Valken. I hope that this one is making things easier now. So all of them have to go to get the skulls, all of them make everything else up to the bone bracelet. Perhaps this is working a bit better, and we'll just see about that. We got 16 bone bracelets now available in the front store, so there's going to be quite a lot of money made today. And of course, we're aiming now at business expansion. Building up a second crypt might be one of the better things to do so early on. Hope you enjoyed this one. Year 2 is over now, almost done, and we continue onwards into winter. Stay tuned.